So I was walking down the beach and I stumbled across these beautiful gardens and this fantastic lighthouse. I had to check it out for myself. So let's go in and see what's going on. So exciting that we're here at Hereford Lighthouse, and I'm here with Peter Harp, the honorary keeper, one of the men who has the most rich history knowledge of all of Cape May County. But here at the Wildwoods, I walked off the beach, Peter, and upon this beautiful landscape, I had to come in and see the lighthouse. Tell me about some of the history here.
Well, this lighthouse was the first major structure built on Anglesey in 1872 to 1874. It was constructed and it was lit in 1874. The reason was that we had most of our transportation and shipping was done by ships that were out along the coast here, and they needed lighthouses so that the sailors could tell where they were. The lighthouses are like road signs. When you drive down the road and your mom says, "Come over to Cherry Avenue and turn left," the Hereford Inlet would be to tell you that you are north of Cape May Point and south of the light in Ludlam Light in the Sea Isle, or Absecon Light in Lang City, and up and down the coast. There were lights up and down the coast, and they would help the sailors. Now, some of the lights were smaller, like this one, which were used by ships that were 10 miles out and closer. And then there were the larger lighthouses, like Cape May Point, were used for ships that were looking for the mouth of the Delaware Bay, or were coming from England and would come, or from Europe, or from Japan, or anywhere else, like the city around Anderson City. They would look at the lighthouses in the middle of the state and know they had to go north or south to get to New York, or down to the Delaware Bay to come to Philadelphia.
And we're looking at some of these original designs and layouts. Tell me a little bit about how this came about.
Well, Paul Peltz was the designer of this lighthouse, and then 4 in California. Excuse me. And he also designed the Library of Congress. The difference is, this is a California lighthouse. It has an extra room here that was a kitchen. So they had 2 families. This house only had 1 family. One keeper was here for 45 years. His 2 daughters were born here. His 1 daughter was married here in these rooms, and he was also a Baptist minister and had services here in these 2 rooms. And the wallpaper you see around the rooms wouldn't have been here, because the government said you could paint them any color you wanted as long as it was white, but you couldn't have wallpaper or any other frou-frous, you know. But you could, so this wallpaper, we were going to eventually make this into a living history museum as the plan, and then we'll make it all like it should be. But the woodwork's all right, and the floors are all right, and the windows and the doors and everything are correct.
And when did the latest renovation happen, and what did you do?
Well, I wasn't here yet. I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't born, but I wasn't involved with the lighthouse. But the Cantanusos, the Mayor Cantanuso and his wife Phyllis, kind of took it over. It was a project for them. And I don't know, it was in the 1970s, I guess. I used to drive by it when it was operated by the Coast Guard, and then they shut it down and put a tower up, and then it was restored by the city of North Wildwood in I guess the 1970s.
And we're going to go up and see the tower in a little bit, but that is a really huge attraction for people to come and see.
Well, it's an operating lighthouse still. The Coast Guard maintains the light, and the light still works. And if you look on your chart, it'll say 1 flash of light, 1 flash, 9 seconds, white light, and it's still on your chart. So if you're out there, and of course everybody has Loran or GPS or something anymore, but you can still find it on your chart. It's still an operating lighthouse.
And there are so many other things to come and see and really enjoy. And I was saying as I walked off the beach, it is just gorgeous. Tell me about some of the landscape outside.
Oh, Steve Murray is the president of the association, and he was also the parks director. He does all this stuff himself. There's all these gardens. There's an English herb garden, and there's a flower garden, and there's a garden when you put contemplation, and you can walk around. He does it all himself. He has some helpers, but it's his design. And it's won the Suburban Gardening Award, the Best Suburban Gardens in the tri-state area in 2002, I think. It's always in Victoria Magazine and the other magazines here about history and gardens and stuff.
And a sanctuary and a butterfly garden?
No, he does all that stuff, yeah. He's got the herbs and the butterflies out there. And back here is the English cottage garden, and over there is the sanctuary garden. So you can wander around here. And there's a seawall that's like 1.25 miles long. Mm-hmm. It runs along there, so you can walk all along there.
Well, I am so just overwhelmed with the beauty and the history and the elegance here. When can people come and what are the hours?
No, we're open in the summertime. They're open pretty much all day, every day. Like 10 in the morning, maybe 9 in the morning. The gardens are open all the time. They can all walk around the gardens.
That alone is something to see. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Peter, and I just am so impressed and looking forward for everyone to come out and enjoy it.
Well, thank you. You're very kind, and we were very glad that you all watched this and will come see us. Thank you.